I have managed ads for tiny little startups all the way through to the big giants of the world, companies that are making sales globally in the many, many millions, through to, tiny little startups that are just starting out. I have worked across Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, all of these different platforms. I have invested for my clients and for myself hundreds of thousands of pounds through these different platforms, and they have used we've used all of these different types of forms of ads, of different creatives, different copies, different audiences, and through all of this spend, we're able to see what works and what doesn't. And of course, it varies massively based on each company that we work with, but there is one consistent truth across all of our clients that we see to remain consistent. And I'm going to talk about that in this video. I think it's a real crucial lesson and it's a little mantra which I'm going to give you, which I really think will help you to execute on your ads and on general kind of copywriting across throughout your business, whether it's social media posts or whether it's SEO or other formats of any kind of promotion that you're doing. My name is Max Sinclair. I am founder of Snowball Creations. It's a paid ads agency. We do this for a living, and that's why I got to look at all of this data for endless different brands running ads to find out what works and what doesn't. So now, let's go into what is this truth. But before I get into it, I just want to mention, firstly, please do subscribe. By the way, I haven't mentioned this yet. Subscribe and like this video. It means that I get excited and enthusiastic about making them because people are actually watching them. So if you've enjoyed this and found any value, please do subscribe. Before the first thing I want to make is the only reason why I've learned any of this is because my agency does a good job of setting up a very clean A/B testing matrix. So what I mean by that is we have a very fair system where we're able to balance one image versus another image, or one piece of copy versus another piece of copy, in a way that's balanced and fair. And if you don't do this, you're not able to learn. So make sure you really invest in coming up with a clear structure around your A/B testing so that you can know, you can learn as you're running your ads, and you can find out more of these kind of little gems of knowledge, which I'm about to share one of which with you for your own business, because every business is unique. So remember to invest some time in setting up a real clean A/B testing structure. If you don't know what I'm talking about, leave a comment and ask me what I mean, and I can try and give you a bit of advice about your particular brand and how to do that. Now let's actually get into it. I promise I'm going to reveal it now.
I'm so excited.
So what is the ultimate kind of truth? What's the little bit of formula that we've seen to be consistent across all of the ads? The learning that we have discovered through all of our testing is actually quite simple. You can put it down into a simple mantra. That is curated, crushes, created. So curated, crushes, created. Curated, what is curated? Curated is content that you've collected from your audience, from the real world. So say if you're an e-commerce brand, this could be reviews or other things like that. It could be video reviews, it could be copy reviews, it could be testimonials if you're a business to business brand. It could be another business owner talking about how amazingly well we did for you with our ads, for example. Like we do video testimonials where clients give real honest reviews about how we did for them in their advertising when we produce certain ROASs, for example, or whatever it might be. So curated is curating various existing assets from the real world and using them within your ads or your website or anywhere else. So this commonly, there's other user-generated is another way of describing it, but we say curated because it's a little bit broader, because ultimately you can also succeed by creating your own curated stuff. So it doesn't always have to be user-generated. It could also be, for example, me talking about a real experience that we had with a client. That's still kind of curated because we're curating reality, like real stories from the real world. So that's what curated is. And then created is where you're really creating a story from nothing. Like you're creating videos, you're creating images in maybe e-commerce, for example. A really obvious example of this is photo shoots in a studio of some kind, or video shoots with actors playing parts of things, versus curated would be like real people. Like often influencers, for example, is a curated version, whereas an actor who's just paid to say exactly what you want them to say is more of a created version. So created and curated. Curated is the winner. So this is the thing that we have seen consistently outperform created, pretty much consistently across almost every single client we've ever had. Of course, things vary. It does vary a lot in terms of exactly when each of them wins. Sometimes created does win, but on average, curated does outperform created. And so if you can try to use this within your advertising, you likely will have better returns, you likely will see a quicker, you'll achieve profitability faster, or you'll achieve even stronger profitability.
Yes!
And so why do I think that's the actual case? I think that's the case because it's quite simple. People know when they're being advertised to that it's not necessarily genuine. So when something has been created, like a professional photo shoot or paid actors, it feels false, it feels fake. And the modern consumer in social media, when they're in Facebook or Instagram, they know they're being sold to. And so they feel like it's got less input and impact behind it. So when someone's telling me that a particular product is awesome, if it's someone who works for the company, then of course that has a lot less value behind it than if it's just generic, Joe Blogs who's no connection to the brand whatsoever, but they just genuinely love the product. They just want to tell you that they've had a good experience. They're just casually sharing it online. So curated is much more real and honest and genuine, whereas created feels kind of this falseness. It feels like you're being sold to. And that's actually quite key too, is curated. You also want to purposefully almost make it look more curated, more real, less tailored, less edited. As soon as there's any editing involved, people know that the company has edited what's being said. So that again takes away from some of that kind of like real, honest, genuine side to that piece of content. So that's why I personally think curated outdoes against created. Hopefully this advice has been helpful. Hopefully you can actually kind of instill this and give it a try. I think it's really simple. Some really simple ways to do this initially could be just find reviews from customers. Put those into headlines within your Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or Google ads and try it out. See how they perform. A/B test again, like in a good clean matrix, against some other ads that you've already run. And that's essentially free. You can generally get reviews pretty quickly and easily in text form. And then obviously some more advanced versions of this would be video reviews, which are awesome. They always really great opportunity, especially if you're doing Facebook or LinkedIn ads and you're creating a funnel. You could put them a little bit further down that funnel. And that's a really, really effective way to get some curated content. And then there's an even step further than this is influencers. So that is still curated, even if you ask them to make that video content, it's still a curated content because it's a real person. And of course they have real weight potentially. So if you can find an influencer from your niche, especially who has weight, like let's say you're selling eco holidays, then David Attenborough doing a video saying how happy he was with your particular eco holidays, that'd be pretty spectacular. That's a curated piece of content from a big influencer, and so that would do exceptionally well, of course. So that's the real kind of like top level of curated content. So please do give it a try. I know it'll work well for you, and that's personally something that we've seen consistent across all of our clients. So it's a great piece of advice that I can give you to hopefully improve on your results you've had so far. So yeah, I wish you luck. If you get stuck at all, please do leave a comment and ask any questions. And otherwise, I will see you in the next one.